receive our distinguished dignitaries, including the President of the Republic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are receiving His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. He is our special guest for this important convening. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let us welcome our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Accompanying him is the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo.
Your Excellency, you are warmly welcome to this very important convening, and we are more than honored to have you grace this very important gathering. We are here to fly on the international conference center. Like you rightly said, this is our first conference, and we are more than glad to be hosting His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana.
Honor and a pleasure really to have you in this very important gathering, acknowledging not only that we see all the arising spirit that we see in Ghana. I don't know why they put the title Arise, but I think we can see that there is a connection. And seeing you here, it's only show that it's not just Ghana arising, but it's also your concern about Africa arising. And I think that really deserves a great round of applause.
Mr. President, I really want to appreciate you for being here because I know how busy you are, especially since you have the Prime Minister of India as your guest. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when I was coming, I tried to write a short piece of talk. Then I was told that I was not going to talk. So I threw away the short piece of paper that I wrote. I was told that it will be a fireside chat. So I said, oh, that's good. I would love to have a chat. And now the master of ceremony has canceled the chat. He has called me for a talk. And now I have neither the paper for talk nor the partner for fireside talk or chat. But what I will share with you is my experience. I was born in a village. My mother had 9 children, and only 2 of us lived to adulthood. So I had that trauma in my life, or as part of my life. Then I started growing up. And the next thing that I found as I was growing up, not only the child mortality, but diseases that were ravaging in my part of the world at that time, particularly smallpox. It was deadly. Then I joined the army. And part of my experience was training in India, where inquisitively I decided to go around India, aside by my military training at the Staff College, to find out what India was doing at that time. This was in the mid-1960s, and how. So I saw a lot and I learned a lot, including what India was doing at that time in the nuclear technology with Dr. Baba, the father of Indian nuclear or atomic technology, nuclear technology. And of course, the lesson I learned from that is knowledge. When you have knowledge, nobody can take it away from you. And we need to have knowledge. Dr. Baba was killed because that time, it was thought in certain quarters in the international world that India should not have nuclear power or nuclear knowledge. But in spite of Dr. Baba's death, the knowledge that India had acquired remained, and India was able to become a nuclear power. So when I had the opportunity, I decided that knowledge, particularly scientific and technology, must be the focus for us in Africa. And I had a few exposures. Again, there was a good friend of mine, a Kenyan, Dr. Thomas Odhiambo. Thomas Odhiambo was an insect specialist as a scientist. And he set up a center for that in Kenya. And I was close to him. So I was learning, even though not a scientist, I was learning about good insects and bad insects. And on one occasion, they called a meeting of scientists. All of them were scientists except me. Why he chose to call me to that meeting, I didn't know. But I was at the meeting. And what I found was that they were all scientists. And they were talking about things that should involve not just scientists, but also politicians. And there was not one politician or incumbent politician there. So one of the things they talked about that was very important was that tilapia in Lake Victoria is becoming extinct. And they didn't know how to go about it. So I then said to them, one man who you should consult and talk to is President Julius Nyerere. He grew up on tilapia on the back of Lake Victoria, where his village was located. And they were curious and said, what can President Nyerere do about this? I said, talk to him. Well, they obeyed me and talked to him. And President Nyerere gave them, I believe, $2.5 million to work on not allowing Lake Victoria to be dried of tilapia. And it worked. So when I had opportunity to interact with Africa Academy of Sciences, and knowing what I have known and having what I have, I thought that one thing that I should do was to empower African Academy of Sciences by giving that donation of $5 million at that time to encourage. And I also said to them to make sure that they are not working in silos, but they work with those who have the power to make things happen, and those are politicians. They make things happen. They have the power to make things happen and to make them unhappen. And President Mahama will testify to that. So I believe that our knowledge, our science, our technology, our innovation should start with our stomach, food. If we can conquer our stomach and fill our stomach with what we produce, with what we manufacture, with what we process, we will be solving one important problem. Second, health. As I said, my mother had 9 children. 7 died at age between 1 week to 3 months. Third, of course, education. What can our knowledge, our technology, our science and our innovation help us in our system of education, our putting education across to our children, and of course, education from cradle to grave. Then our domestic appliances, basic things that we use in the house. How can we make our knowledge and our technology, our science, to produce them and produce them simply, cheaply, and at the prices that will be affordable. And of course, lastly, infrastructure. If we are able to take care of education, of food, we are able to take care of health in our science, technology, and innovation, and we are able to take care of education, domestic appliances, taking care of infrastructure will not be difficult. And I want to appreciate all of you who come together in science, technology, and innovation. We are not ready to go to the moon, but if we cannot go to the moon yet, let us touch our stomach. Let us and then later on, those who are on the moon, we will catch up with them. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with those inspiring words. Please, let's acknowledge him once again. And like my good friends from Yoruba will say, Baba Eshe, thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
warriors here. This is gungulum 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 gung. This is Ghana News TV. The time is 6 o'clock. Let me follow Ghana.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha. You learn five. Say ye fear wo pese won tono. You learn five. E dan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto Africa ha no. You learn five. So wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha. You learn five. Sanso e na say uti obi school fees ama no a. You learn five. Nyenti ame kanfo learn five ama on say utimi send this sika e fa learn five so a e ma ni begu bank account mu. Sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Enu achi nso no de bia lemfi e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya lemfi e secured na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no ne nsa aka lemfi wo USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Portugal and France. What the lemfi send this car untu ahwe bomodi an dey use me code NEWS news na say ene any day di kan o register o lemfi so a unya bonus sanso and how you switch so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma
the president. One thing he failed to tell the president was that I enjoyed one of their local dishes in Kenya, and I thought he would have mentioned that, and I wanted to tell him to try our Ghanaian jollof, and he would then give a fair verdict. I didn't know that my grandfather, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, was eavesdropping. So when I turned around and I realized he was watching us, I had to put brakes to the Ghana-Nigeria jollof debate. I'm only here to announce, to arise that His Excellency, the President, has asked me to publicly declare that he's making 10.3 million Ghana cedis available as a pledge for Arise, equivalent. So he's pledging on behalf of the people of Ghana 10.3 million Ghana cedis, which is equivalent $1 million for Arise. Thank you very much. That is what I'm just here to say. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll take some more pledges. And yes. Your Excellency, please. Please let's acknowledge His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you. Thank you. Kindly be seated. It's easier to make the pledge because if this had been a few months earlier, $1 million would have been equivalent to almost 17 million cedis. And so 10.3 million cedis is $1 million, and it makes it easier to raise the money. Thank you very much. His Excellency, former President of the Federal Republic of Ghana, Olusegun Obasanjo, we call him Baba. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I know how difficult it has been for you. Indeed, you're supposed to be in Angola today. And so don't worry, we'll facilitate your movement and let you arrive on time. The Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Education, Julius Migos Ogamba, representing President William Ruto, my very good friend. Give him my best regards, and I say Karibu. Excellency Ambassador Amachum Amwa, one of our own celebrated diplomats. She held the fort in Addis Ababa for a very long time, and now she's with the African Union. Thank you very much, Amma. The Minister for Environment, Science, and Technology, the Honorable Murtala Mohammed, Member of Parliament, senior government officials, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the African Academy of Sciences, fellows of Arise, my beautifully dressed children, Students, you're welcome. Take science very seriously, okay? There was a program to start building STEM secondary schools, specialized STEM secondary schools. And my point was that every secondary school should be a STEM school. And so we don't have to build standalone specialized STEM schools, but to build STEM blocks and laboratories in every secondary school so that every child can have the same experience. On behalf of the government and people of the Republic of Ghana, I wish to warmly welcome all of you to Accra for this high-level meeting of the African Research Initiative for Scientific Excellence. Your presence here today is not just a diplomatic gesture. It is a powerful affirmation of our shared belief that science, research, and innovation must be at the heart of Africa's transformation. I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the African Academy of Sciences for the vision and partnership in convening this meeting. Since the founding of this academy in 1985, it has distinguished itself as a non-political Pan-African platform for scientific collaboration and knowledge production. And its mission is to transform lives through science. And this resonates deeply with Ghana's own development aspirations. We honor the legacy of pioneering African scientists and Ghanaian scholars who laid the foundation for scientific excellence in our region. Among them are Professor Edward Ayensu, Professor Ebenezer Leng, Professor Daniel Ajebekwin, Professor Trebi Olenu, Professor Robert Butler, Professor Francis Kofi Alote, and Dr. Emmanuel Evans Amfong. They remind us that Africa's journey towards scientific leadership is rooted in our own agency, creativity, and resilience. The world today is shaped by knowledge economics. Nations that have prioritized science and technology have accelerated their growth. They've strengthened their resilience and improved the quality of lives of our people. And that is why when we say that at independence, Ghana's GDP was larger than that of Korea and others, the prioritization of knowledge have made them accelerate far ahead of us. But let's not give up. We're going to catch up. Innovation remains the most transformative driver of development, from food security to healthcare, to energy, to security, to infrastructure, to climate change adaptation and others. Whether in modern agriculture, in smart cities, in renewable energy, or genomic medicine, the future belongs to those who invest in knowledge and apply it wisely. And that is why Ghana is proud to host Arise. This meeting must inspire dialogue and ignite action, real coordination, and sustainable investment in science, research, and innovation. In our effort to strengthen the interface between science and economic development, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation, in collaboration with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, has instituted an annual scientific and industrial interface review forum. And I'll explain what that is all about. This initiative will bring together Ghana's leading scientists and research institutions and bring them together with captains of business and industry, with innovators and entrepreneurs. It will give them the opportunity to showcase the findings of their research. And this will help us identify commercial pathways and align national research outputs with the practical needs of business and industry. We believe that sustained dialogue and cooperation between researchers and industrial actors will catalyze the uptake of locally developed technologies and processes and thereby enhance productivity and create jobs. I believe that every school should take an excursion to CSIR, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and see what they're doing there. A lot of research findings that they have made remain on the shelves because there's a gap between research and practicalizing and commercializing the findings of the research. And this is what we're trying to bridge. And that's why we must bring these two people together. We don't research just for the sake of researching. You must research so that it makes a difference in the people's lives. And I believe that this annual forum, which will bring them together, they'll be able to exhibit what they've done, their findings, and the businesses can take whatever ideas they have and commercialize and practicalize whatever they have done. Furthermore, I've asked the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology to come out with a comprehensive policy on commercializing research and innovation. We would design a national framework that will enable the full exploitation of research outputs through patenting, licensing, and public-private ventures. We'll support researchers moving from discovery to deployment through incentives such as innovation grants, startup incubators, and technology parks. This policy will also include a review of our intellectual property laws and university-industry collaboration agreements to ensure that the economic value of Ghanaian research is unlocked and reinvested into our national development agenda. In Ghana, our agenda to reset the nation includes a bold commitment to restore confidence in the research and innovation ecosystem. We're pursuing this through massive reforms in education from basic to tertiary level, with an emphasis on STEM education, creativity, and critical thinking. Infrastructure investments will be made to modernize our research institutions and laboratories. Curriculums will be redesigned to make our students globally competitive and innovation ready. And social interventions that ensure equitable access to quality education and lifelong learning will be pursued. But beyond policy, we are putting resources and institutions in place. In this regard, I'm pleased to announce the operationalization of the Ghana National Research Fund. This was the dream of our beloved president of blessed memory, Professor John Evans Atta Mills. And I'm happy to announce the operationalization of this dream. The National Research Fund was established under Act 1056 of 2020. I've taken the step of appointing Professor Abigail Opoku Mensah as the first administrator of the fund. And I've constituted the governing board of the fund under the able chairmanship of Professor Eric Irenchi Dankwa. Now, what will this fund do? It will serve as a dedicated vehicle to finance research and development, R&D. It will fund research infrastructure, like improving our laboratories in our research institutions, and technology generation in key sectors of our economy: agriculture, health, education, environment, energy, and digitalization. This fund will support both basic and applied research. It will also promote cross-sectoral and interdisciplinary work. Importantly, it will also connect academia with industry and policy, ensuring that research outputs are effectively translated into real-world solutions. Your Excellencies, almost every government today is grappling with how to build resilient, inclusive, and innovation-led economies. Many African countries continue to depend heavily on natural resources, while others worldwide are investing in human capital and technology capabilities. We must learn from our Asian brothers and sisters, China, South Korea, and Singapore. These countries pursued strategic catch-up policies anchored in scientific research, educational reform, and technological adaptation. Today, they are among the world's most innovative economies. Asia alone accounts for nearly 70% of global patent filings. That's 70% of the world's new technologies, born not by accident, but by deliberate investment and policy coherence. There's a lesson for Africa to learn there. My brothers and sisters, Africa cannot afford to be left on the margins. We must leapfrog by building a connected African research can do it together. We don't need to work in silos as Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa. We can share our scientific research amongst ourselves and be able to catch up with the Asian tigers. And so that's the strategic importance of ARISE. The ARISE program offers us a unique platform to nurture a new generation of African researchers. ARISE is building a critical mass of scholars who will lead Africa's scientific renaissance through competitive selection, mentorship, mobility, and collaboration. And so to our distinguished ARISE fellows, your work is impressive, it is foundational. From climate research to biotechnology, from artificial intelligence to health sciences, your research holds the key to unlocking Africa's potential. I commend you and assure you that Ghana will continue to support you. And that is why we're putting our money where our mouth is with the $10.3 million, Ghana cedi, that I placed. Rapporteur, don't go and misquote me and put $10.3 million. We're still resetting our economy, and I'm sure when the economy is solidly on its feet, we'll give some more money to the academy. So on this occasion, let me take this opportunity to thank our development partners, particularly the European Union. Thank you very much for the support you continue to give to this cause. And the Carnegie Corporation of New York for their generous support of the ARISE program. We're also grateful to the African Academy of Sciences, to the African Union Commission, to the Africa Scientific Research and Innovation Council, ASRIC, the Afro Champions Initiative, the University of Ghana, and our own Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation, our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Education, for the dedication and collaboration that has brought this event here to Accra today. Your work and commitment, and I thank you for your work and commitment, and I pledge Ghana's continued engagement in strengthening our continental and global research partnerships. And my final charge is that we should let this be a turning point. Ladies and gentlemen, let us resolve that this ARISE meeting, will not just be another gathering. Let it be remembered as the turning point at which Africa chose to believe in the power of its ideas and to invest in its brightest mind. Let us move from rhetoric to results, from potential to performance, from isolated research efforts to a coordinated African science agenda. Let us build the laboratories, let us fund our universities, let's incentivize the innovators and open the doors for the next generation of African scientists. Let us do this not for the prestige of it, but for progress, not for the applause of it, but for its impact, not for our time, but for our children and future generations. In conclusion, as we look to the future, let us be united in purpose and guided by the conviction that science is not a luxury but a necessity. Let us build a continent where ideas flourish, where innovation drives change, and knowledge uplifts the quality of life of our people. And so once again, I take this opportunity to thank you for your presence here in Accra, for your partnership, your unwavering belief in the promise of African science. And I pray that wisdom and a shared vision of prosperity will guide all our efforts. I thank you, God bless you, and God bless Africa.
Can we please do one more for the President of the Republic of Ghana? Guests, please remain seated. Distinguished guests in the front row will come forward for a very quick photo session. After that, we'll all remain standing wherever we are, and the President will take leave of us. Thank you.
Not too close. You don't want to
How are you? Good. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll tell Odina. Okay, open up. Let's go. Listen to him. You might go and report. You better report yourself. We do not want to break the Let's go. Thank you.
Follow and watch Ghana News TV.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha Usulem Fi. Say ye fear wo pese wo ntono Usulem Fi. Edan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto wa Africa ha no Usulem Fi. Say wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha Usulem Fi. Sanso e na say wo tie obi school fees ama no a Usulem Fi. Nyenti a make camful Lemfi ama on say utimi send this sika e fa Lemfi so a e ma ne begu bank account mu sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Eno achi nso no de bia Lemfi e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya Lemfi e secured na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no ne nsa aka Lemfi wo USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Portugal and France. What the Lemfi send this car untu ahwe bomodi an dey use me code NEWS news na say ene any day they can register or Lemfi so a unya bonus sanso and use chance so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma
Menu makwekwesa asempa kania semenam na meti asempa na mamo amane a na ma no keka me anyam bia wate ANS Trading Agency Limited nka se wo ka se door to door for no de na watwa esanse obie ne wa se wo ho sa door to door business nim wo nneoma wo UK a wo de ko Ghana ana se Germany a wo de ko Ghana 3 to 5 weeks ebekwa kodu nipa ne puno no se try na de mo demonstration wo se adwuma de we mu ne se wo ho bo no e da fom se boko ANS Trading Agency Limited e wo air freight special service and onneoma ne ye de befa plane entintempa na akwa kodu obetima fa sa pa we ya so de nneoma free Ghana akwa UK ana Germany FGG dem which na also agina ye na men drop bomb ANS Trading Agency Limited pe and a 40 footer any 20 footer container ya for UK ediko Ghana ana Germany ediko Ghana omo manuoma ye mere import o export o dem there for you omo Ghana na money 0249 170 423 UK has over free 0790 802 7527 Germany 09173 771 2733 Ubenya ANS Trading Agency Limited our West Croydon ANS Trading Agency Limited Quantum Brantam Wana Beboya Basso maybe next time in your fill up from the bebro